World Turns.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Queers and Soaps. I'm joined by Eric.
Hi, guys.
Today, we're watching As the World Turns, November 2nd to the 6th of 1987. Oh my gosh, we're getting to the end of the year. Let's roll the credits.
Good week.
The sweeps were sweeping.
The
The
sweeps
sweeps
was
were
sweeping.
sweeping. Yep. Mm-hmm.
James was Jameson.
Yep. Lily was kidnapped.
Yeah. The fallout of the kidnap.
Yep.
So,
And our favorite couple's
how,
about to get married.
well, did they say 2 weeks or next week?
I think they said a week or two. Did they say a week or two?
Oh,
So it might be
okay.
during November sweeps.
So we have
Maybe.
Hal and Barb discussing where Paul is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he tells her that Paul's fine. He's with John and Dusty.
Mm-hmm.
I forget where John was. Was he at his place or at the hospital? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
And Corinne had busted Monica and James.
And James.
You,
But that part was good. That part, I'm glad they got caught because I wasn't about that relationship or lack thereof.
yeah, but there still is. It's it. So yeah, there's a man in the shower. She says that it's Dusty and sends her off because obviously she can't say it's with James. Nor does she know that her mom was involved with James at this point,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't think she knows.
She doesn't
Or does
know.
she know? Or does it, or I think they did business together at one point, so she might know that they were business partners, but she doesn't know
Mm-hmm.
that they were sleeping together.
Yeah.
Um, and she basically convinces her into leaving for now. James
Mm-hmm.
comes out of the shower. Um, Babs tells Paul that he can't go to school. John questions Lucinda. I guess because they know that James is in town. And
Mm-hmm.
and he's blackmailing everyone into being quiet. It's like this secret. It's so tense. Like I feel like it's tense in
Mm-hmm.
like any Emily scenes,
Yep.
Lucinda, like all of these people, because
Barbara.
they know,
Yeah.
and there's nothing they could do about it. It's kind of annoying. Lucinda
It
tells
is.
Ambrose, darling,
Oh, Ambrose,
um,
darling.
that James has Lily. Uh, Nick tells Lily that she can probably be free tonight if all goes well with whatever the plan is. Just James is trying to get out of town with Emily and Paul
Paul. Paul. Yeah,
to
Paul.
Greece. I guess they
And
have
he's
his
been
own
telling Corinne
island.
that she's going to Greece, but that's not happening.
Monica.
No, I mean Monica.
Yeah,
Monica. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It's Monica.
uh, I mix up everything. I didn't even know Corinne's name. I'm pretending I call her Connie or something. Or something. I don't even remember. Um, Margot and Hal discuss Craig and Lucinda. Um, because Margot knows that, well, or thinks that James is using Craig as leverage and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Rod talks to Iva about Lily missing. Meg questions Iva about talking to Rod. Rod Josh.
Rajosh.
Meg's like, if you can forgive Rod, why can't you forgive Tonio? She's like, first of all, I didn't forgive Rod. I'm
Mhm.
just talking to him because, about the daughter and all that stuff. But Meg takes everything personally, and we still don't really know if Meg slept with James. Like,
Yeah.
because in one spot she talks to Tonio and she's like, she thought it was Tonio in bed, like she was thinking that, but I don't know if they slept together because I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
confused by that.
Yeah, because I was looking in the comments of the video and somebody else was confused. I was like, "This the Meg sleep with Antonio? Were we missing episodes? I think we're missing
Right.
episodes." So.
Yeah, so we really don't know if they slept together. And I guess James is like using that, like saying with like
Mhm.
he'll tell because Tonio is a jealous man. Maybe
Yeah,
he's like, I'll tell
definitely.
Tonio that we were sleeping together because he came over.
Mhm.
Maybe he like set it up so it makes it look like that, something like that.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I could think of. I hope she didn't sleep with him. Um, Taylor sees Lila and Casey, and they say that they're getting married, and it looks like Taylor's not excited. Shannon remembers the conversation that she had with Duncan about the buttons. This button is leading somewhere finally. The
Mhm.
missing button. Shannon tells Lisa that the castle is her home now, so I guess she's with Duncan for sure and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Duncan Duncan tries to get Tonio's suit from the cleaners, the blazer that was missing the button.
Mhm.
Corinne tells Lucinda that Monica has a lover and that it's Dusty. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Pam overhears that. I got her name right. Yay.
Oh, I thought her name was Paula.
I called her Peggy.
Hey, look, every P name,
Something something with a P.
something with a P.
Um, Lily hits Nick on the head and runs and bumps into James. Lila and Lisa talk um, about the wedding and Taylor. Casey tells Taylor she is the reason his wedding is happening
Mhm.
because, he found out the truth about her and it made him go that way. She still is not pleased because she wanted Casey. And I think he mentioned something about like don't even try Tom either. Like some like to sway her away from Tom. Pam questions Dusty about him possibly sleeping with Monica, and he's like, well, "What are you talking about? We can't talk about this right now because first of all, I don't know what you're talking about, and I think he was at the hospital when it got brought up, so he couldn't say anything."
Mhm.
Um, Taylor kind of tries to stir shit up with Casey, and she's like, "So who's your best man?" While Margot is there, and of
Mhm.
course it's Tom, which Margot I thought already knew, but she's like. Yeah, we got to talk about that. Like Margot said that to Casey, and I'm like, well, what? Like, what do you got to say about it, Margot? It's their wedding.
Yeah, it's their. I mean, even though she's the daughter of
The
the bride. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to
right
figure out Margot's connection. All
and and maid of honor, but
and maid
still,
of
like,
honor.
just
Yeah,
like whatever. You don't have to talk to each other.
yeah, you really don't. And I thought
John,
Franny was going to be the his.
yeah,
Yeah,
his best person.
his best person.
So yeah, so I don't know. I guess both of them are standing up for him. You can have
Yeah.
two. Maybe it started in 1987 when you could have two people stand up for you. Um, John asks Margot about Lucinda. He suspects her, like she's hiding something and he knows it. I mean, you can cut the tension with a knife, it seems. James calls Lucinda, like, are you ready to switch? We can switch Lily for Paul and all that stuff. Ambrose tells her to call Margot. Duncan questions Tonio about the button. Here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they talk about James. Meg overhears. See, everybody overhears in this soap, like a lot.
Yeah.
There's always someone around. Which happens on Bold and the Beautiful a lot too, which is really
Mhm.
annoying. Because they're like, oh, we'll never talk about it again, but then they keep talking about it, they keep talking about it, and eventually somebody
Someone
hears.
overhears.
When you don't talk about it again, you don't talk about it again. What the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? Stupid soap people. Um, James calls Tonio to meet up. Dusty goes to Monica, and she's like, I'll explain to Pam, I didn't, I was just trying to get out of a pickle, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Rod goes to Margot about James. Um, Rod hears Margot say that James has Lily. Audrey talks to Lila about Margot. Lucinda talks to Babs, and Tonio has a gun.
Mm.
I know. I felt like a lot of people have guns, so I'm like, somebody's
Yeah,
definitely getting shot. Um,
I
James
mean,
tells um James tells Tonio he is betting Meg. So yeah, I'm so confused about that.
yeah, I'm confused too.
Again, I don't think they slept together. She just, I feel like she would have told somebody or something.
Yeah, Meg would have said something.
Yeah. Rod questions
If we're
Emily.
going off the logic of like when she accused Rod Josh of hitting on her, I guess,
Right.
um, she would have told somebody about the whole James thing.
Yeah, I would think so. But he might have threatened her, he threatened
Oh
everybody.
yeah, yeah, he does threaten
I just
people.
think his threats are stupid though. I feel like, I
They
don't know,
really are. Like,
I would call him on it. Rod questions Emily about James and Lily, and that's all I got for that one. Um, November 3rd, Margot talks to Babs and Lucinda about James. Babs brings up Margot not having kids again, being a bitch
mm,
because she lost two babies. Um, Margot says, "Well, tell me what it's like." Paul comes into Rod. Um, oh, he's gripping Emily about James. I forgot about that part.
yeah,
Um, and who comes to the rescue but Holden
Holden.
comes and hits
Which
him.
I forgot that there's like this photo shoot. I don't know if it's the next year of him, Lily, and Emily together.
Hmm,
So that could be hinting something.
interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that they were involved. Um, Tonio pulls a gun on James. Nick comes, and I guess they fight a little bit or whatever, and he
Mhm.
gives him back his gun, which I thought was funny. Like, James has balls.
Yes.
Tonio says you're gonna die, so I'm assuming he's gonna die soon. Lucinda tells Margot there's nothing to tell. Margot begs her. Oh yeah, because Lucinda, I forgot, because Lucinda ain't saying anything
Hmm.
when she clearly has it all over her face that she's
Yeah,
hiding
she is
something.
like Elizabeth Hubbard does a really good job at like facial acting.
Yeah. Um, Paul talks to Rod about his dad having Lily. Monica talks to James. He says they are heading to Greece. He's still kind of like keeping her in his back pocket just in case anything goes wrong. He's holding on to all these women. Um, Dusty gets to tell Pam what Monica said was false. Duncan questions um, Meg about what she knows about James.
Hmm.
James calls Corinne to meet up because he's still using her too, just in case things go wrong.
Hmm.
He needs to keep all of his women at bay. I like
Or
those little meetings that he has with his cohorts on the pier. Him and I can't remember the one guy's name, the one that was like working with Duncan. Can't remember his name. And
it was I know it's Nick, and then I don't know who the other one is.
the Duncan guy.
Yeah.
Um, the Rod searches the pier for Lily. Nick feeds her. He has her like locked up because she had escaped the first time, so
Mhm.
now she has to stay handcuffed. Rod finds them. He like peeks up his head through the little thingy.
Picks up. But
Um,
before that, he went when he was down in the thing when the rats were there. I was like, oh,
of the
he was
rats
down in
stay.
the crawl space.
Lily
Though it was
distracts.
funny when Jill and Catherine fall in the rat just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, because Lily distracts Nick. Because of course Nick wants a piece. I'm like, the girl just turned 18. Like they make
Yeah,
these guys look so sleazy. So she
that
like
was a
acts
good
all
idea from Lily because she knew he she knew he had she knew he
Well,
was
yeah,
that way.
he's a
She kind
slime
of
ball.
figured. She's like, look, this guy's a slime ball. Let me get to his
Use
advances
that.
so that way I can get the fuck out of here. So,
Yeah. Dusty tells Lucinda about Monica's lie. Margot goes to see Paul. Babs breaks it up. Tonio asks Meg about banging James. Um, she says that she thought it was him, like in bed, but she didn't say that she slept with him. So I was confused with that.
yeah,
Um, I hope maybe we'll find out one of these days. But
yeah.
we have Tonio like hiding that he's talking to James. Meg's hiding that she's talking to James. So everybody, he like James comes between everybody with
Hmm.
all of his shenanigans. So a doctor tells Margot that she actually can have kids, that the uterine tear is healed, and come like January, I think she can start trying to have babies again. And she was
Yeah.
like, funny, because now I don't have anybody to make babies with. I mean, she does, but like
She
being
has
married
Hal, but Hal
still,
keeps. I feel
but
like
she's still
Hal is
married at
back
the
and
same
forth.
time.
Yeah,
Right.
between her and Barbara. So
She just is like, it's just funny that I'm still married, but we can't
hmm
have a baby. Um, Lila comes by. Oh yeah, and I made note that it's 2 weeks till the wedding. That's what they said.
hmm
Um, but I don't know because Casey's family comes, and I'm like, why would you come 2 weeks before a wedding? But in
they
soap
must
opera
live
time,
far.
we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they must
Yeah, but
live
two
far. That's
weeks?
the only thing I'm thinking of. But
Who has 2 weeks to wait for a wedding? Where you live?
yeah, even
Maybe
though
I
it's a
guess they
big
have.
house, they were
I
having
guess they have.
trouble. They were
They have
having
nothing
trouble
to
putting all the
do.
kids and everybody into the into like their
Yeah,
beds
it's
and stuff.
that's silly.
Uh,
Duncan and Jessica go at it a little bit. Um, I Lucinda breaks has like a bit of a breakdown with Ambrose because she's tired of living like this, and
mhm.
Lily's still MIA and all this stuff. Corinne calls Lucinda, brings up her daughter, um, that lied to her. Oh yeah, it's when Monica lied to her. She lets Lucinda know.
Mhm.
So this like thing is all going around, this Dusty and all this. So it's involving a lot.
Yeah.
Um, Lily tries to get Nick to uncuff her. He does, and then he like kisses on her. Rod knocks Nick down. They escape. Lucinda ends up going to the cops. I don't know why she went to the cops because she doesn't say anything when she gets there. So I was like,
He doesn't.
why did you go? And Duncan's like, can I go first? Because I was here first. So Duncan goes. I guess maybe that's what happened. Maybe she had intended to, and then by the time Duncan went, she's just got like stopped.
She
Like I
chickened
don't
out. Yeah.
know. So Duncan goes first, but Margot Corinne walks in on Monica and James together, like
Dun dun
making out.
dun.
Ew. 11-4. James tries to explain his way out of it. Um, there's really no explaining. I mean, you were
There
busted,
really
so
isn't. No, he can't
he
explain
knows.
shit.
No.
Anything.
Duncan shows Tonio's jacket to Margot, and Jessica and Ray are also there, but they don't do anything. It's a
Mhm.
shame.
They really
They're
don't.
just they're just like the cop sidekicks. They're
Hmm.
around, but they don't, they date occasionally, but we never see it.
Hmm.
I think we saw one date, and they're already
Yeah.
kissing on each other, so I guess they've been dating off screen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, we see that Nick shot Rod Josh twice, but
Mm.
we don't find that out until he goes to the hospital, of course. Um,
I like
Monica
what they
goes
did in
on.
the opening credits where they no, or was the opening credits or was it the episode? Was it the episode before where they just have like they froze framed on like the gun being shot and we don't know who got shot and we heard Lily scream.
Oh yeah, I think that was
That
the
was
end of the episode, wasn't
yeah,
it?
that was in the previous episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Monica goes on and on about how she loves James, and
God.
um, I know. And Corinne's like, "Well, we slept together too. I bet you didn't know that." And she's like, "Ooh," but she still wants him. It's just, uh, I guess he's was it Patty Hearst story where she was like,
Stockholm
um,
syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. Thank you. I guess it's that because he tells her that he loves her all the time, and
Yeah,
ugh,
it's not like I mean it's not like James hasn't done this before because Emily he literally got Emily when she was freshly over the age of 18.
he's the worst.
He's the worst. He is really the worst.
People say that he's like the best villain that I saw in some of the comments, and I'm like, no.
Like in the
He's a
later years,
skeevy villain.
he doesn't do this in the later years. I can tell you that.
Stefano didn't sleep with 18-year-olds. Roger didn't sleep with 18-year-olds.
Roger
Like,
didn't. Nope. Roger loved himself some Christy. No, Chrissy or Blake. He loves his daughter. Like he's all about.
right.
Roger was all about his kids.
And
Like
Holly.
and Holly. Yep.
And that's what like when I like knew about like James and Barbara, that's what the way I was thinking it was. I didn't think he was this disgusting, but
Yeah.
he's like a disgusting criminal.
He's basically a sociopath. Not to
Bleh.
diagnose a character because I'm not in mental health things. So.
Right. He threatens Corinne to turn her in, if she turns him in.
Oh.
Um, and Corinne calls Monica a little fool, which I thought was funny. Not once, but twice. Just a little fool. Lily phones the police. I guess she found the phone around the pier. I don't know. Rod is alive, that we see, because he moves. Because at first it looks like he's dead. For a couple times they showed him. He's just like, ugh.
Mhm.
Meg and Antonio talk. He thinks that she cheated. Babs tells Holden what's up. Paul doesn't believe it. Um, Lily gets to the police station. Her and Lucinda hug.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess when you're like in a life and death
Yeah, when you're in
situation,
like that situation, you kind of mature a little from it.
but she still kind of questions Lucinda, like she knew. Like she's like, "Did you know?" Like so she's onto something.
That makes sense because you wouldn't be out here kidnapping a heiress if the mom or the dad didn't know anything about
Right.
that.
Yeah. Oh, and that was Lucinda's reason. She's like, "Oh, well, he was probably going to call me and like offer like a what is it? A ransom or whatever."
And now, part two of As the World Turns.
Ambrose gets on her though, and he's like, "You should have told the truth."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we find out James still wants Paul. James calls Paul. He's like, "Meet me. Everyone is lying to you. I would never lie to you," and all this disgusting stuff that
Mm-hmm.
is lies. Paul mentions a gun that Barbara had, and that he took the
Yeah,
bullets out of the gun, which is not good.
not good at all.
Um, I thought it was going to lead to like Barbara and him having a showdown, and then she would go shoot the gun, and clearly, she won't be able to because the bullets are not in it. Um, Paul begs Barbara to go to school, which is funny. I'm like, who would beg to go to school? But I guess it's better than she's like kind of keeping them
Mm-hmm.
locked up by her side while James is around. Um, she brings up Rod being shot by Nick. James continues to use Monica. She's basically snowed. She has no idea like what's going on because Monica is an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Corinne tries to sway her. Margot questions Lily. She tells them that they're planning on going to Greece. She knows some of the plan because Nick likes to tell all his issues and
Mm-hmm.
like all of his stuff, which he did to Margot before.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a criminal, dude, you can't tell everything.
No, you
Just in
can't.
case. Just in case.
Yeah.
Duncan fills Shannon and Lisa in on everything. Tonio goes to the police station for questioning about the blazer.
Hmm.
James calls Emily. He thinks Paul would want to go with him, but
Hmm.
and I think Paul's still kind of torn. Like he doesn't want to, but he doesn't really know what the plan is either. So
Yeah.
he's open right now.
Hmm.
Babs says she will use her gun on James if he comes near them. That's all I have for that one. November 5th. Emily and Babs talk about James. Paul overhears them, and they're always talking about the same things over and over again
Yes.
because they can't tell anybody else. So
Hmm.
whatever. Meg tells the cops about the jacket. Rod asks to see Lily, um, as he's like dying in the hospital. Duncan goes off on the cops because he's always going off on them because they never listen to him.
No.
Like the man knows what he's talking about.
Hmm.
James has been around for like a month at this point. Well, maybe like 3 days in soap time, but a month for him.
Yes.
Um, Kathy tells Andy she is lucky, um, but she's got to go. She's going to town, or she's leaving town. I
Leaving
guess this
town.
is the
Yeah.
last time. This is the last time we're seeing her, but I thought we already saw the last of her, so you never know. She might pop up
Yeah.
again.
Never know. She might be back.
Yeah, who knows? Nick and crew discuss evil plans on the docks. And they
Evil.
evil crew. I forgot I
Every
even wrote
villain is lemons.
right. James calls Lucinda for Paul. She's like, are we getting this done? Like he still has Craig. She's like, well, I have Lily, whatever, so I ain't gonna do it. Lily talks to Rod. She's like, you'll be fine. He's like, can you call Betsy, let her know, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, Rod's ma is flipping out. Um,
Elizabeth.
yeah, Elizabeth. Forgot her name, and nobody even says it in this one, in this batch. Megan Lucinda exchange some words. They're fighting about some shit.
Hmm.
She met with James at her place. Oh, I think Lucinda had met up with James at Meg's place, so she was like threatening her or something. Babs calls around for Paul because she kind of lost track of him. He's somewhere. I forget where he is right
Hmm.
now. Iva tells Holden to tell Lily that it's her fault, like when you go to tell Lily the truth, which we've been talking about forever, that he's known and he won't say anything. Although every time he does try, something interrupts, so whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, he won't do that. He won't throw her under the bus just to clear himself.
Hmm.
But he will tell her the truth right now, as he
Yeah.
always
Not
says,
gonna happen.
right now,
Didn't happen.
right,
Not gonna happen. It's gonna
right
happen.
now, right
Wait,
now,
or
last
maybe it'll
time.
happen on November 30th. There we go. November 30th it will happen.
It ain't happening. She's gonna find out from somebody else. And right now, last time got Lily kidnapped, so she wasn't able to tell him that then. Andy and Paul are with John at the hospital this time. I made note of that because I guess I didn't know where they were last time.
Yeah.
Holden plans on telling Lily. They're talking, and then we have Lance comes to town from Wyoming for
No, I
what?
didn't.
Oh,
No, I didn't know that the Wyoming crew was going to come back. I was surprised the Wyoming crew was going to come back. At least one
yeah.
of them. I was like, wait a minute.
Did he say why he was there? Because like I didn't catch it. Like why are you there?
He said it, but I forgot. He did
Yeah,
say
I
that
didn't.
there was a reason he was there because he was staying at like the Lakeview or something or somewhere.
Yeah, it's weird.
And
Babs
then
panics.
they had this whole thing where they were going to treat him to dinner, and it was a thing.
Mm. Babs panics about Paul to Hal and Lisa. Margot tries to track Paul and Andy. Tonio goes to Lucinda. Um, Find James and I'll kill him, is what Tonio says to Lucinda.
Hmm.
They're done with them. Everybody wants them dead now.
Yeah.
Um,
I want him dead too, personally.
me too. He's disgusting.
Yeah, he's gross.
Um, Hopefully, when he comes back, that he doesn't do that anymore with the young women because that's just. Mm-mm. Um, they got the bullet out of Rod. Yay! He still
Yay.
has to heal, of course. He's still in critical condition. James calls Emily. Um, I have Babs knows it's time. Oh yeah, because Hal's still there, so she's like, they give like the eye to each other, like, it's going down.
Hmm.
But of course they don't tell anything. I don't know. I'd be like, listen, Hal, you can't tell anybody. I feel like the cops are trustworthy enough because they're like family friends and stuff to like just tell them what's going on.
Yeah.
Because the cops know, although they have been idiots. So I don't know. I don't know what I would do in this situation either. Because some of the cops have not been really helpful, especially with Duncan. Like Duncan's like, I'm doing like this is what's happening, and then they don't do anything, and then bad things happen. Like listen to Duncan, dude. John mentions to Lucinda he suggested Andy and Paul go to the ridge, and I put oops because that's what she was supposed to do to them, so they'd go to the ridge and meet, so James can get Paul.
Yeah.
That kind of cracked me up. Um, 11:06. Tom and Margot are eating at the hospital. Um, I feel like when do you got time to eat? Like, I don't know. They got. There's a lot going down this week,
They all,
and
yeah.
and Margot needs to be involved. So I
And
don't
they're
know.
all and they're always in the cafeteria memorial. I feel like we don't see that in the later years. We don't see the cafeteria memorial in the later years.
I mean, I
We
know
see
you got
more
to
like,
eat. You got to
yeah.
eat sometime. So I guess, yeah, being at the hospital, they're just like, okay, grab a quick bite and then go run around and chase James
Hmm.
again, which I feel like they should be doing. I don't know. I guess, do they not know? Wait, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess they don't know James is in town, right? Right? Because nobody's told them.
I don't think
They're
they are.
all,
I don't think they know at this
they're
point.
all, because the cops are everywhere, but they're all given the runaround.
Yeah.
Like even Tonio didn't say anything about James with the button and all that stuff. So I don't know. I guess they don't really know that it's going down this week, even though it is. Although,
Hmm.
well, Rod was shot though, so they gotta know.
They have to know
So,
something.
yeah, I don't know. But maybe they're just hanging at the hospital because Rod was shot, and they're just like trying to think of their next plan. I
Yeah.
just feel like they seemed way too calm to be just like chilling at the hospital while everything's going around like the shit around them.
Yeah.
Franny finds out about Rod in this one. They're like, "Oh, I thought you knew," and I'm like, "Well, nobody called her, so how would she know?
Yeah. Right.
Just because she works at the hospital, she works at like the suicide hotline. She ain't going in the like patient's rooms."
Hmm.
Lucinda panics. She wants to call the police about Paul. James comes to Paul and Andy because Andy's there too.
Hmm.
John runs out to the ridge because he finds out about that from Lucinda finally.
Hmm.
Um, Lucinda calls for Margot. Paul tells James he doesn't want that life. He's like, I don't want to be on the run all my life. Like, I want to live with here with my friends and this and that.
Yeah.
Um, John gets there. He's like, it's over, James. James and John fight. It was a pretty good fight, too.
It was. It was really good.
Yeah. Paul begs him to stop. He's about to hit him in the head with a rock. James is
Hmm.
about to hit John in the head with a rock. And it looked like a real rock. Like it didn't look, because you know how sometimes you can, like when they pick it up in some shows, it looks like a fake
Yeah.
rock.
Hmm.
Like it looks really light. This looked like a pretty, like it looked heavy.
Yeah. The
And he's like, please stop. I'll go anywhere with you. We'll do live however you wanted, and whatever, just to stop him from killing John. So that's good. Or knocking John out, but I probably would have killed him, I feel like. Casey's parents get to Talila, and the whole family's there. There's like 20 of them.
it's
Like you
like a
said,
billion
like
people.
where they sleep in. Like there's a bunch of kids, there's all kinds of stuff. And again, the wedding's supposed to be in 2 weeks. So I'm guessing since this is the end of this week, even though I feel like it's only been one day because Lily was caught and all that, like now like next week would be the wedding
Yeah.
because of that. That's what I'm thinking. Because earlier in the week is when they said 2 weeks.
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out next week.
Yeah.
Um, Franny visits Emma. They catch up a little bit. They talk about Seth and Sabrina. She's like, she's my sister, and we're trying to get along, whatever. Like, Franny is very understanding of this situation.
Would
Um,
that be me in
and
the situation?
yeah, and Franny's like, she cares about what happens to Seth too. Like, and I'm like, that's really nice of you because I wouldn't if, if you cheated with my sister. No. Um, Tom and Margot talk while they're holding Bryant. I had to make. I'm trying to keep track of these babies. 'Cause there's a
We
bunch of
don't know
babies
who the
around,
two kids are. We know that they're related to Casey, but we
and
don't
there's
know
there's
how.
one name there's one named Christopher, that baby.
Yeah,
Who's that?
Christopher. Yeah, well, there's Christopher, who's Bob and Kim's son.
The baby?
Yeah, the baby is Christopher, the one with Nancy, right?
How'd Kim have that baby? She ain't no spring chicken.
Him had the baby in '85. we, we saw the
Kim?
baby in the beginning. Yeah, Kim had the baby. This is Kim's last baby.
I would hope so.
Christopher's
She's like
Kim's last
60.
baby. Yes.
All right.
And yeah, we do see him late. We do see him later. If you saw the final episode, you know who Christopher is. Yes.
Interesting. She says their relationship won't ever be what it was. She gets the call about John.
Hmm.
Paul and James, um, John, Paul, and James, and they run off with, she runs off with Tom,
Hmm.
Margot, that is. Lucinda tells Babs she wouldn't have helped James. She said, I never would have helped him, like, no matter what.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if I believe her. If her daughter was in jeopardy, I feel like you probably would have no choice. Like, I
Right.
feel like anybody would
Hmm.
choose their daughter over someone else's son. Um, Andy and John get back. Babs is like devastated because Paul went off with James. Seth and Sabrina visit Emma. I just made a note of that because they visit, like they just are around, but they don't do
They're around.
anything.
They don't do much.
Mm-mm. Snooze. Why are they together? Boring.
Yeah. Why are they together? They should have just kept Franny and Seth together.
Yeah, I feel like this storyline had so much potential, and I feel like it didn't. It should have went a different way, or maybe even took taken a bit longer. Like maybe have, like you said before, like a single white female type
Yeah.
situation. Like have Sabrina be a little bit more manipulative and try to like get him
Hmm.
and take some time with it. Where I feel like everything was just kind of rushed, and this is where we're at, and it's
Yeah.
boring now. Like Seth and Sabrina don't do anything. They're together, and Franny accepts it. Like boring. Like where's the drama in that? No,
Yeah.
no
Where's
drama,
the drama in that? Yeah.
right? Where if it were like getting a little bit, edgy, it would have been very interesting if
Hmm.
they played it a different way. And of course, it's pouring when James is going to take the kids. It's always
Of
downpouring when
course. Yes.
there's a, there's a crazy storyline going on.
Crazy storm.
It really looked like they were dumping buckets on James. It was just a lot of rain, didn't it? That was
Yes.
not normal rain. It was really funny. It was like he was like under this big shower thing that they must have had, and it was just crazy. Holden wants his job back with Lucinda, which is silly for him to think that Lucinda would give him her job back because she hates him. Like, that's very ballsy of you. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it kind
John,
of goes with the last time when Holden was angrily raking the hay and being like,
yeah, well,
I don't want to be a farmhand anymore."
John is upset with Lucinda, obviously, because she kept this
Yeah.
secret for like maybe a week. I don't, we don't know how
No, you're wrong. It
indefinite.
was 2 weeks.
I don't know. For a bit, she calls Tonio. She thinks she knows where James is. James, Paul, and Emily are all together. They're waiting for a helicopter to fly to Greece. Um, I don't think helicopters can go that far. I don't know how far Greece is from Oakdale,
Well,
but
Oakdale is in the Midwest. It's in
or
Illinois.
maybe the helicopter was going to take them to a plane to fly to Greece. That would make more
Yeah.
sense because you can't take a helicopter to Greece. You would
No.
die on the way. Um, she says you can't take Paul. Paul is the reason. He's like, Paul's the reason. Paul's my everything.
Hmm.
And she tells them what?
What does she
What does
tell him?
Emily
I
tell him?
forgot.
I'm
I
with child.
I'm with you. That's right. Yes, she reveals the pregnancy to James. Yep, I
The
forgot
way
all
she
about
puts
that.
the way she put although James is fucked up, so I feel like the way she puts it cracks me up because she's like, I'm having your baby. We can replace Paul with my baby.
My baby, like, look, we're gonna replace Paul with my baby. We are good. We are
I'm
awesome.
like, I mean, it doesn't really work like that, but I feel like in James' crazy ass head, he
James
was
is
actually
crazy
like,
headed. He does.
ooh,
It's like,
we
ooh,
could.
we could replace that baby with your baby. We could start all over again. You'll
Yeah,
be
and
my new hello, Barbara.
that's how the week ended. So I'm like, this is a really good week. Although I have a lot of issues with a lot of the people.
Go
Like,
ahead.
I don't know. No, I mean, I already basically said them. Like, I mean, I don't know. It just, I feel like everybody, like, just didn't know what to do this week to try to catch James. Like, they did a bad job. If she knew where James was, like, why wouldn't she have talked sooner? Like Lucinda?
Mhm.
I don't know.
And then the
What else you got
Wyoming
to say?
thing, the Wyoming guy came back, and I was like, why?
Why? Why are you here?
What is the point? Like,
Your
is this the
storyline
guy?
ended.
Does he know? Does he know that Holden knows that Lily wasn't?
Yes, because in the
That
one
could
he was,
be it. That could be why he's back in the storyline perspective. He could be the one
well,
that tells.
right, but he was the one that was telling him to tell her before. Remember, every week somebody different tells him to tell her. So, like, I think Iva told him, that guy told him, Iva told him like 5 times.
Didn't Lucinda
Um,
tell him or no?
Dusty, I think, told him.
Dusty, yeah,
Lucinda, I don't think does Lucinda know? Lucinda doesn't talk to Holden like that.
yeah. I don't
Like
think, yeah.
she hates him. Every time he's
Oh,
around, she
that was
wants to
Lucinda.
yeah, Lucinda.
The mom, Kathleen Willows, Emma. I think
Yes,
she told
Emma
him.
told
Yeah,
him. So we all know where this is going. Even if Pam wasn't around, we would know where this was going.
and he was really pissed that he was there. Like it was weird. Like
Yeah,
he was like very, he was like, there was a scene where they were at, I guess they were at Memorial or somewhere that had like a cafe that had food, and he was like really holding Lily like, this is my woman. Like you can't come back for her. Like come on. Like
right, right.
it was really weird. I
It
mean, you know, we
is.
expect that from Holden, but still.
Yeah. I'm excited for next week. So Lila and Casey will be getting married. Um, but
Hopefully.
how are they gonna be getting married with all of this shit going down? So I'm just like, there's so much happening. Um, I really I don't know. I'm guessing somebody's just gonna show up and like shoot James. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna end, but
Yeah.
I'm excited to see.
Emily has the gun. The gun doesn't have bullets.
Oh, Emily has the gun now.
Emily has the gun, yeah, because she took the gun.
Okay.
She wrote. Remember, she wrote down something for Barbara to see. I couldn't
Huh.
see what she wrote down because of the quality of the video.
Do you
But
think it's gonna be one of those things where like she'll go to shoot him, she'll try to shoot him, and then like maybe like he'll like knock the gun out of her hand or something, and then like maybe someone will shoot him from like somewhere else,
mm,
and then maybe he'll go down that way, and then like we won't know
yeah,
who the shooter is, like a whodunit. I don't know if there's enough people that want him dead, though. I know Tonio, Lucinda would probably be the only suspects. Maybe Paul if he got away,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't have a gun right now. So I don't know.
He has the bullets.
I wanted to Google like a who done it, but I don't. I'm afraid like it'll show who did it if that happens, so I didn't look it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Damn it.
Yeah.
But I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know too. I want to know if I forgot what because I know they said in the book that Anthony Herrera is in the kind of in and out as James, but I
Right.
don't know if this is when he leaves.
Like everybody else, like Stefano is always in and out, and
Yeah, they're always in and out.
Roger is
I don't know
always
if
in
this
and
is
out.
like a point where he leaves or a point where he stays, and they like Roger, they try to redeem the character in some ways, and
There's no redeeming him
there's
from
no redeem.
sleeping with
Well,
those 18-year-olds.
yeah, we'll put a pin in that for 97.
Oh gosh. Well, 10 years. We got a lot to watch.
We really do. And we're getting by this really quickly too. Like it could be in
Yeah, at the
1980
end of
before
the
we
year.
know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have anything else you want to add?
That's all I got. Can't wait for
All
more.
right. Yes. And we will be bringing more to you in the next couple of weeks. Thank you for watching or listening to our As the World Turns podcast on Queers and Soaps. As always, you can follow us on the socials at Queers and Soaps, including our Patreon, where we have different little viewings of shows that we watch, including an episode of As the World Turns from 1993. So if you want to watch that, subscribe to our Patreon. It's at the bottom right here or at patreon.com/queers and soaps. And until next time, bye.
Bye, y'all.